We hear a lot about different IT certifications, and honestly, they can start to blur together. But one that keeps coming up is the F5 certification. What's the deal with it? Is it just another badge? Or is there something fundamentally different about what it's testing?
Well, that's the core question, isn't it? FWU isn't just about knowing networking or just knowing applications. Its whole philosophy is about proving you can master the entire stack. It's a bridge that connects the basement of networking to the penthouse of application delivery.
I see. So F5 has structured its 2026 certification program as a comprehensive climb, starting with the big IP Administrator Foundation and then branching out into specialized tracks like cloud and security. It's designed to prove you can manage everything from basic networking to complex application layers.
Exactly, and that bridge aspect is key. Most certifications focus on either hardware or software, but FWU forces you to integrate both. If you want to move into their technology specialist or expert roles, you have no choice but to master that middle ground first.
So it's a very intentional, layered approach to expertise. But to even get your foot in the door, there's a specific double-gate exam process you have to clear first.
Right. That's where it gets interesting.
Okay, so this entry point is the F5CA, which requires passing two specific tests: Exam 101 for fundamentals and Exam 201 for TMOS management. They cost about $135 each at a Pearson VUE center, but there's a catch. If you fail too many times, you could be locked out of retaking it for an entire year.
And that 1-year lockout is the real hidden pressure point. It's FWU's way of saying, don't just guess. Actually know the material. It turns a relatively cheap test into a high-stakes gatekeeper for your professional timeline.
An entire year is a long time in tech.
It's an eternity. And here is the aha moment for a lot of people. Exam violating isn't just a hurdle. It's a filter. Most people fail because they underestimate the fundamentals part, thinking they can jump straight into the cool TMOS management stuff in exam violating. But FWU has built these as a strict sequence because the how-to of violating is completely useless without the why of violating.
That makes sense. So it's less about testing your memory and more about testing your logical progression through the tech stack.
Precisely. You can't just memorize commands. You have to understand the architecture.
Right, it's a sequence you can't shortcut. Which brings up the big question. With such high stakes and a strict retake policy, how are people actually preparing to pass on the first try?
That's the million-dollar question.
Candidates seem to have two main paths for prep: the official F5 blueprints, which are comprehensive but very time-consuming, or using condensed resources like SPOTO's exam dumps that focus on real-world questions to speed up the process.
It's a classic depth versus speed trade-off. The official guides are fantastic for building long-term deep knowledge. But if you're a working pro who needs that FWCA badge to qualify for a promotion next month, the condensed practice tests are often the only way to beat the clock. Official guides teach you the subject. High-quality dumps teach you the exam.
It's about being surgical with your study time. To wrap things up, let's look at the must-know facts for anyone eyeing an F5 cert this year.
Absolutely. If I had to boil it down, it would be 4 things. First, you cannot skip levels.the CA, which means passing both exams, violating and violating, is the mandatory foundation for everything else. Second, remember that each attempt costs you $1,000 at a Pearson VUE center. Third, and this is the big one, be mindful of the failure penalty. After your 4th failure, you're banned for a whole year. And finally, efficiency is everything. The official guides tell you what to study, but a lot of people use targeted practice materials to make sure they can actually pass the specific questions they'll see on test day.